मगर इस देश रहना चाहिए, इस देश का लोकतंत्र में रहना चाहिए।
You can do one Mumbai, you may lose Balochistan.
2, 1, 0. F-139 mortar.
This man is a horrible man. He must be shunned.
For them to count. Our job is to hit the target, not to count the body bags.
Namaste, welcome all. Welcome to the show. We have with us once again, Wing Commander Sanjay Vaze, and our very favorite guest is Dr. Sidharth with us. He's here, and welcome to the show, everybody. Today we are going to discuss generally the advent of drone warfare and those kind of technology. After the Op Sindoor period, after Iran war, where do we think that this kind of technology will take place? What are the dynamics that you feel are in play right now with all the situation unfolding? Sir, please go ahead.
Sidharth first.
Sir, I think you are an expert on this, and I've always been talking. I think for drone warfare, you can start.
Okay, because I was on the UAVs, first squadron of the UAV in the Indian Air Force, and that was way back in 2000. So today we are highly advanced. There are n number of drones, including kamikaze, loitering munitions, and they have added tremendously to our capability to strike whenever and wherever we want to hit without exposing our men to the combat zone. That's the biggest advantage of the UAV. Having said that, now if we see Iran war, see what happens to the air defenses when barrage of missiles and drones come. There comes a time when the air defense missiles are outnumbered by the number of drones which are coming.
Yes.
But as much as I know, the Army, Navy, and Air Force have catered very well to take on two front war also. We are prepared even for that. Op Sindoor was a minor scuffle as far as Indian armed forces go.
Yes,
And
I agree.
the part that I didn't like in it is our might was exhibited. So
Okay.
So my analysis is that now nobody is going to venture or mess with India.
Yes.
And as far as Op Sindoor Part 2 goes, it is a hanging sword on Pakistan.
Yes.
That's about all that I can see. I don't think that our government will venture into a war. Firstly, it's not required. There are so many ways that we are already hitting Pakistan. Pakistan is breaking from inside, and our army, navy, force, we have the youngest guys for fighting. They are battle hardened, but they should not be used for a chuha like Pakistan. We have got, if there are larger wars, then these forces should be used. This is what is my take on it. We have closed their water source. They have Baloch, Afghanistan hitting them inside their territory. The Sindh wants to separate away. So we can right now just watch fun, and if anybody asks for help, then of course our army will surely go into POJK.
So
I totally agree with. Please, Path.
yeah, I was saying. So that's from your perspective, where do you see this day going?
See, I'll just take you back 10 years ago. One of my robotics, colleague when I was HOD in Military College of Telecom Engineering, they said, the future is drone warfare and swarm drones will be the future. And that was in 2015-16. And we used to just laugh at him, कि sir, आप बहुत ज़्यादा सोच रहे हो. It is इतनी जल्दी नहीं आएगा. But let me tell you now what the reality is. Drone warfare, swarm drones, and those mother and cluster drones are the reality. And like what sir said, with Patriot missiles, the air defense missiles which the US and the NATO forces have, you are killing a, I should say, an ant with a huge drum. The amount of resources you're wasting on a drone which cost few $1 million, billions of dollars of armor you're wasting. And that is the aim. Like how even in guerrilla warfare, you want the enemy to be drawn to your ambush area and then you kill him with very little resources. That is what air warfare has come now. You don't have to go with your fighter jets to the enemy territory and do dogfight. Those times are gone. What Op Sindoor brought this time is from your own territory, much behind your IB or LOC, you are firing those missiles which are hypersonic, supersonic, ballistic missiles, and they are just going inside. So you don't need to take your aircraft very close to the enemy area. Also, you are just firing from a distance, and these are precision, missiles which do not the air defense do not have answers. And if I don't have such, high accurate missile systems like BrahMos, I can use a Indian origin or a Turkey or Iran origin drone system, which is just like a tractor ka motor ka आवाज का just goes slowly and goes to the place, and as a kamikaze जो Japanese का था कि it will just do a suicide mission. वो तो एक था. Now what Iran has done is you have a mother drone which creates so many cluster of baby drones, and they attack. So the air defense system cannot fire all the drones at a time, cannot down all the drones. Out of 10, 4-5 to hit honge, and the cost to deliver this mission is too less. So anyway, it's a losing battle. It's a problem of plenty. You give me 10 targets, I can hit 3, 4. My threshold is 4. I give you 10. I know 6 are going to land or 5 are going to land. So the warfare has changed tremendously. And now I'm targeting areas like your airports, the West Asia, which was like, जिसको कहते हैं the millionaires paradise, कि they used to invest money in the US defense system and say कि भाई हम सबसे safe हैं, हमारे यहाँ पंगा नहीं होगा, बाकी सब जगह सीरिया, जॉर्डन, Israel. Now Iran has targeted them कि भाई मैं तुम्हारा जो पीस अबोर्ड है, I will finish them. तुम मेरे को टारगेट करोगे, मैं तुमको खत्म करूंगा. So the entire dynamics of the West Asia has changed with these drones. And Iran का जो है, they do not have too many fighters, and the air power is not that strong. They've got MiG-29 old generation of aircrafts, but their missile systems and their drone systems are a killer. And which the US air defense, माने आप देखो US ने अटैक किया, इनके air bases are in mess now. They are losing F-35 that has been shot down. So जो US का इतना बड़ा एक हुआ था कि we are the super power, हम aircraft carrier उनका ईरान के कोस्ट के पास नहीं जा रहा है. It is staying away, keeping a safe distance कि उसका मिसाइल मेरे को ना मार दे. So you have fingered them, but it's like a hornet's nest या bees का nest, और आपने finger के पीछे again you don't know what to do. So that is my take. And drone warfare, swarm drones, these are the best economical thing, and something will come. It's a cat and mouse game. Air defense and the say drones and fighters का वो अब हो सकता है air defense will catch up, but again the drone and such warfare will go up. तो ये चलता रहेगा. But right now the drone swarm warfare, mother cluster drones, they have an upper edge. That is my take. Vaze sir can give any additional.
Yeah, how I see is, I mean, before this war started, I had a discussion with one of the retired group captains. I said, to my mind, it's impossible that USA will strike Iran, because Iran has got barrage of missiles.
Yes,
They have,
yes.
it's in open source. They are
Yes.
giving their ranges. By the way, Iran is technically very sound. They have got very good engineers, very good scientists.
Yes, scientists are world class.
They-
There's no doubt in
They
that. Yeah.
remained poor because of sanctions for so many years.
Because sir, if you see their cleric regime, we have discussed this with Parth earlier also. Their cleric regime is it's they follow Sharia, and Sharia में Israel and US, even us in one sense, but Israel and US, they are the enemies. They are living with an aim कि हमको इनको खत्म करना है. So their all
Yeah.
energy, entire thing is directed towards making nuclear weapons. जो हम इसको स्ट्राइक, जिस दिन में न्यूक्लियर वेपन आ जाएगा, वाई इजराइल इज फाइटिंग. इजराइल को पता है जिस दिन ईरान के बाद न्यूक्लियर वेपन आएगा वो मेरे एग्जिस्टेंस खत्म कर देगा. यूएस को नहीं पहुंच पाएगा बिकॉज इट इज फार अहेड, बट इजराइल तो खत्म हो जाएगा. तो इजराइल इज फाइटिंग फॉर सर्वाइवल इफ यू सी. So effectively,
Both. Iran is
doctrine
also fighting for survival.
yeah. So
Iran,
but Iran
for
is not
Iran,
interested in
this
हाँ आप बताएं.
war is existential crisis.
Yes.
Okay. They either
both the
fight or
countries.
they are just
Yes.
finished. Same is with Israel. Now there is another aspect. How I look at the whole situation is which were the countries involved in radicalization.
Okay.
To start with, it was the British. They gave birth to Muslim Brotherhood. They trained the ISIS, MI6 and CIA
MI6. Yes.
and CIA together, and they radicalized. They brought Khamenei in 79.
Yes. Khamenei was in France. He was brought from there.
Yeah,
Literally
because they
imported there. Yeah.
true, because the concept of the Western world was to make sure that these countries should not progress come what may. And that is how they can have their influence. But now when it comes to absolute military air defense, Iran has showed them that you are not good enough. And the third system of USA is, they didn't sell it to Israel. They put US third unit in Israel. What's the use? So many missiles are hitting Tel Aviv every day. So now they are shaken up. But
Yes.
a good part that I'm getting to see is the Arab world has also got hit. So all the countries which were involved in radicalization process, they are getting their share back. That is one aspect. And because of this war, the oil prices have gone up. Per barrel, it has already crossed $120, and it's likely to go up to some $150, $180 very soon. The worst sufferers are going to be the Europe, entire Europe, because they will not get oil from this part of the world because of Hormuz Strait. Russia has blocked them. And now when we talk about Russia and USA, they sell maximum oil and the prices have gone up. So who is making money? USA and Russia.
Sir, I Parth will agree. I'll bring in Parth also in some time. The Ukraine and Russian war, if you see the entire, the pipeline and the oil pipelines to the Europe were disrupted by MI6,
MI6.
as you brought out. They want this disturbance to be there. This existential crisis for Europe against this Russia, जिसको एक नेमेस बना रखा है कि हवा, is created by MI6 UK.
Absolutely.
कि भाई रशिया ऊपर आएगा तो आप खत्म हो जाओगे, तो हमें रशिया से लड़ाई करनी है. They are funding this war with US in the background. In this US Ukraine war, Russia's economy has grown and Russia has become from its pillar to post, its strength has increased. So Russia has come out as a big strength in this Ukraine crisis. USA के resources कुछ यूक्रेन में चले गए, अब कुछ यहाँ इजराइल में, तो USA has become weakened by both the conflicts. If you see, Parth, you want to say something?
Yes, and I think primarily, if one wants to understand like who is actually benefiting from the war, one must actually try to see what's the money trail, right? So, what is the motivator? Who is making money? Who is like who stands to benefit? So, by applying some kind of first principles thinking, we come to the very quick conclusion that this war sometimes is being extended for the pure purpose of making money, by interested parties who are present and who stand to gain from that.
Yeah, by the defense
Like
infrastructure of the West. Defense infrastructure of the West is actually doing it. They are earning money. उनको पहले यूक्रेन को डिस्ट्रॉय करना था, फिर यूक्रेन को बिल्ड करना था. सारा पैसा
Correct.
नेटो से आके डिफेंस में जाना था और वापस वही डिफेंस ने पैसे कमाने थे. So it was, this is a game which they did in all the places. No, Iraq, in Afghanistan, that is what they're doing.
Precisely, BlackRock has put trillions of dollars in Ukraine, and he's now ruined because he's not going to get anything. Because in that Alaska summit, Trump just suggested that we'll help build Ukraine again. Putin says, "Sorry, boss, that's my area," because he has got his elites in Russia. They are going to invest there and build the Ukraine again the way they want it. And now they're losing a lot of land, more and more of it on daily basis. So
Ukraine is the grain basket of the world, and US wanted this grain basket. Even Bill Gates and other people, they wanted this. So the
correct.
aim was to get Ukraine destroyed, take control of the agricultural resources. They are buying land in Pakistan. Ukraine ko to karna hi tha. Russia said, you cannot do this. You cannot take it. It's not a free game. It is my ally in USSR, and I will not let your vested interest come into the agricultural paddy lands of Ukraine. So global geopolitics is very complex. There are various layers. There are people like BlackRock, and such Bill Gates Foundation who are playing havoc in the world because of their own personal interest. They have spoiled one huge country like Ukraine. एक stooge, एक डेमोक्रेसी से यूएस का स्टूज बैठा दिया जेलेंस्की, जिससे बोला कि तू नेटो में ज्वाइन कर and let us in and create this crisis, try and destroy Russia, जो नहीं plan हो पाया. Otherwise they had plans to get Russia's economy down further, take control of Ukraine and utilize its natural resources.
No, there is another side to it. Okay. None of these nations are such fools who don't know that they cannot win over Russia. It's not possible. Russia is extremely mighty.
Hitler couldn't go over Russia. I think it was not taking over Russia. It was more to weaken the economy of Russia.
Oh, but with that, what has happened now? All these years, they were shouting at home, Russia aa raha hai, Russia aa raha hai. Now people, the locals in Europe and UK, they are saying, no, they are not coming. You are telling us lies. Yes. And you have ruined our own economy just to go for that war. And who is making money? The banking cabal, the elites. Yes. But in this case, what has happened is now BlackRock's money is ruined. And now they don't know how to cover the expenses. And once again, I repeat that they knew the outcome, but the entire Europe's banking cabal runs on perpetual wars. There are three large components, financial components in it. One is military-industrial complex. Second is insurance companies. Now see what has happened to Lloyd's. Lloyd said that anything coming from Hormuz, I will not give insurance.
Yes.
And the next day, Trump smartly came out. He said, US government will give the insurance. Lloyd is collapsed. And third are pharma. So many people getting killed all over.
Coming back to the topic of drones, again, our primary topic, even Ukraine has used its drones to attack the bombers of Russian, air bases. वहाँ भी drones have, through the truck से निकल के, like a Trojan horse, they were inside those trucks and they came out, कुछ transportation के नाम पे आगे, and then they attack all the bombers. So you see how drones are creating havoc in these conflicts. War भी कह लो, Russia and Ukraine, as well as Iran-Israel conflict. Yeah, Path, you should also give your views.
I think from the technology point of view, which is like rapidly progressing, I see this to a large extent that people are banking on this kind of new technology to gain a competitive advantage in warfare. Meaning, what used to take entire military divisions and maybe big number of deployments of troops to achieve some certain goals now is being done for very cheap, affordable rates, like maybe without putting humans into line of fire, which is what drones or UAVs are becoming more famous or popular for. But it also means that it is a war of economics more now, rather than actually war between people or infantry directly, or people on the battlefield. So which is what I think even Siddharth sir was saying some time back, that something that is costing so much more, like
you,
in like
you
a
don't want to put your foot on ground. You don't want your soldiers to enter a enemy territory, because capturing land is the second part. Before that, you want to reduce the fighting capability of the enemy by going into such drone warfare, missile attacks, fighters. पहले आप enemy के capabilities को deteriorate करो, and then let your troops go in. I've heard, I don't know if it is right or wrong, but US is planning to put its Delta forces and Israel forces into Kharg Island, right? So that is another plan which is going. पहले आप उसको इतना annihilate कर दो, उसके बाद you let your troops enter and capture that land or capture the resource. So let's see how things work. So this is a
and
new
one of the interesting
dynamic
things
change in
is that,
warfare.
huh, so supposedly there is a new deployment of Marines which has arrived in the Middle East, where they are saying that maybe they are a backup, or while Trump is talking about peace on one hand, he's maybe showing the stick. So the stick and carrot kind of diplomacy is at play. Remains to be seen where it will go. But sir, before we close, I think from both of you one by one, we should ask, what does the entire situation bode for India? How are we going to cope? What is our strength? What is our area for improvement? What do you think? So that's you please first. You're on mute.
You're muted.
Vaze sir, I think sir should give his comments on the drone warfare and future for India.
Drone warfare. Now, lastly, since we are talking about Iran war and the effects of it, I clearly see that in near future, the Arab countries are going to tell US to wind up their bases, because they were totally unsuccessful in securing, for which they had signed guarantees with the Arab world, whereas they are getting battered now. And who has started the war? Not the Arab world. And who is now suffering? Like I said, in my opinion, the worst sufferers are Europe and China, economically, I'm talking about. Because China used to buy crude oil at very minimum price from Iran. Now that's not possible. And Indian government has already announced so many steps which they have taken to make sure that we go through the rough patch, which is obviously coming up. But if you listen to Prime Minister Modi's speech, he has also spoken about we should getting ready like we got ready in COVID. And another statement he made in his speech is, ये बहुत लंबा चलने वाला है. And he knows, of course, much better than any one of us. So we'll have price rise, no doubt about it.
So Siddharth sir, your take.
My opinion, I think there's a big game going on. First of all, what sir said, I agree. The target is also China, because Venezuela was attacked because Venezuelan oil was taken by China. Iran is being attacked because China's biggest source of oil is from China's biggest source of oil and crude is from Iran. Russia is neutral; it supplies to India and other allied countries. So China के economy तो affect करना है, because China was challenging US. What I feel is now it's a downfall for the West Asia. They had just गोरे आके उनका oil discover करके they were living like millionaires just because they had oil बेचते थे, कमाते थे. This economy will change. India has also discovered huge chunk of oil wells in near our
Correct.
Andaman, that area.
Andaman.
I think it's not much time before we have alternatives from the West, and Venezuela, say Russia, say, and even our in-source things will come. Rather, in this war, if you see two countries who are, matlab, are the big profiteers are Russia and India, because Russia is supplying to everybody. यूएस ने जो सैंक्शन डाले थे इंडिया पे कोशिश कर रहा था वो अभी रिलीज कर दिया. रशियन ऑयल, क्रूड ऑयल इज कमिंग टू इंडिया. हम
India.
रिफाइन करके यूरोप पे पूरे वर्ल्ड को दे रहे हैं. सो वी आर एक्चुअली अर्निंग.
Yes, yes. We
हमारा
are also.
क्राइसिस नहीं हो रहा, हम पैसे कमा रहे हैं. इफेक्टिवली दिस क्राइसिस इज गुड फॉर अस. ओनली दैट
Absolutely.
एलपीजी इज एन इशू. एलपीजी का भी हम रिसोर्सेज देख रहे हैं, बट वी आर नॉट शॉर्ट ऑफ एलपीजी. वी डिड द एलपीजी वीडियो व्हिच इज डूइंग क्वाइट वेल. सो व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से, द डायनेमिक्स ऑफ the oil control and the dependency on West Asia is going to change drastically. वेस्ट एशिया के जो कंट्रीज है, दुबई विच टेकन एज सेफ हेवन, जो रियलिटी पे चले गए थे, इनका ऑयल खत्म हो गया था, सऊदी, द पीस दे प्रॉमिस्ड इज ओवर. मिलियनर्स आर कमिंग आउट ऑफ दैट. सो द वेस्ट एशिया का प्रोमिनेंस जो था वो अभी डाउन होने वाला है. रशिया, चाइना, रशिया एंड इंडिया आर गोइंग टू राइज विद दिस silently as a natural benefactor. And China's economy as it is doing bad, it will go down.
Yeah.
That's why the
Absolutely.
power center I say is RIC. Russia, India and China क्योंकि अभी भी stable है. US में recession आने वाला, you've seen this and we have always discussed this, that stock market recession आने ही वाला था. We have come to COVID levels. The petrodollar वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 के बाद, एज आई कीप सेइंग, पेट्रो डॉलर जो यूएस ने बनाता है, हेजीमनी, जो पहले गोल्ड पे करेंसी होती थी, उस करेंसी को डॉलर पे चेंज करना आफ्टर वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 फॉर 70 और 80 इयर्स, 75 इयर्स, उसको कन्वर्ट करना. एंड यूएस की हेजीमनी, जितने आपके गोल्ड रिसोर्सेस नहीं, उससे आपके 36 ट्रिलियन का डेट है, तो आप और 36 आपका करेंसी घूम रहा है वेस्ट एशिया में हवा में. ऑल दिस, ये जो कर्मा इज कमिंग बैक टू यूएस. यूएस में रिसेशन आएगा, सिविल वॉर आएगा. ये भी कहते हैं यूएस में ब्रेक. Bad times are there for US, bad times are there for West Asia. Europe is already going through a lot of crisis because this Russia, Europe को भी बर्बाद कर दिया एक तरह से बाइडेन regime ने. The power center has come to Asia, primarily Russia. Russia will be the richest country because सबसे ज़्यादा natural resource Russia के पास हैं.
Absolutely.
And because of global warming, इसका polar route खुल रहा है. पोलर रूट इज द शॉर्टेस्ट टू गो फ्रॉम एनी पार्ट ऑफ द कंट्री ग्लोब टू द एनी पार्ट ऑफ द ग्लोब. उसका सबसे ज्यादा नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज हैं, फर्टिलाइजर से लेके क्रूड से लेके एवरीथिंग. एंड यूक्रेन को भी कंट्रोल कर रहा है, तो द व्हीट बास्केट, द ग्रेन बास्केट इज आल्सो देयर. एंड इंडिया, बिकॉज इट्स पॉपुलेशन इज ह्यूज एंड इट्स पॉपुलेशन ड्राइव्स द ग्रोथ, and the way our policies have been there in the right direction. And China will follow. China will be a smaller brother in this RIC. And BRICS may, and finally this the pegging of the currencies of the world will be on gold. ये जो gold crisis, gold और silver का भी फिर से because of the war it did not go up and went down, is again because big companies like JP Morgan and such companies are getting the gold prices down. सबको sell करवा रहे हैं so that they can buy. India and Russia and these countries have bought huge amounts of gold. So that once the currency is pegged with gold, even BRICS का आता है, alternate आता है, we will be among the rich countries. So I think win-win for India and Russia तो है. That's my view.
A slightly different
please.
perspective about UAE and Saudi. They have already realized that radicalization is not going to work for them. They have very strict laws in their own countries, and they know that their oil is not going to save them. So they have already started diversifying, and lots of millionaires are entering Saudi and UAE, like Mittal, steel manufacturer. He has come to, I think, Fujairah or someplace. He's setting up plant there. Lots of millionaires from Europe.
Sir,
they
wait,
have shifted.
that is what I was saying, that this was a game plan 6 months, 1 year ago. But with this Iran conflict, that peace abode of West Asia, Saudi has now people are pulling up their investments ki yaar, UAE, Dubai, Saudi is not safe now. This new transition which has happened 2 months, people who had invested are coming back. The reality market is going down. So ye naya development hai, say 6 months ago. But abhi ye naya, that is my opinion.
Let's see.
I think either way, because the future is uncertain, there is a lot of things that can go either way. We are not able to predict entirely.
Yes,
So
yes.
depending on what happens, things will diverge. But sir, I think generally it's been great. We will do this once again, sometime again. But thank you for everybody's time. And any closing remarks? Then we will end we'll end today's discussion.
Come what may, USA and Russia both will ensure that this Middle East will remain safe, because Russia has got a lot of influence on Iran, and Iran itself never wanted to hit the Middle East, but they were forced by Americans, and which they had declared earlier that if we are hit, we'll hit all your bases in the Middle East. But in the coming times, I think a lot of business centers will be opened in Saudi and UAE. Right now, people are pulling out because they feel it's unsafe there. That's all. But in coming times, they will have a good time, I suppose.
Siddharth sir?
I differ slightly. Disruptive times are there. जो हम लेके चलते थे ना कि ये यूएस है, रशिया, ये things dynamics are changing. New powers will come like India, and जो हम लेके चलते थे ये safe है, वो अभी unsafe हो जाएगा. जिनको हम count नहीं कर, and I'm telling you another big factor. African economies will be the next big thing.
Yeah.
Contesting Europe, they'll cover up. तो they are again a very growing economy. सबसे ज़्यादा GDP rates उनके हैं. So you see lot में जिनको हम पहले हम लेके चलते थे, जब धीरे धीरे रंग होंगे, नए राजा आएंगे, and new wannabes will be there. So there's lot of dynamics in times to come. That is my.
Yes, and I think we agree generally about our discussion. So I think once again, thank you, and I would just say Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you for
Jai Bharat.
everybody's time.
Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you.